charming smile he'd been using all day to manage them. "It's one dance, and then you're done." "I know I speak for my sisters when I tell you to shut up and stop defending Valentine's Day Bridezilla," Sam said. Nick laughed at the dismay on their faces as the first notes of Bette Midler's The Rose filled the room. "I'm going to puke in my shoes," Angela muttered. 3.5 months pregnant with her second child, she'd been green for weeks. "Those are my Jimmy Choos," Sam reminded her. "And if you puke on them, I'll kill you." Angela scowled at her. "Would you rather I puked on those?" She nodded to the Manolos Nick had bought Sam to wear the night they got engaged. Sam glanced down at the precious shoes. "Don't even think about it." "Mine are from Payless," Tracy said. "Puke away." Nick took Sam's hand as Angela's husband Spencer and Tracy's husband Mike did the same with their reluctant wives. The guys made for a dashing trio in the tuxedos they'd worn as Skip's groomsmen. Across the room, Sam's partner, Detective Freddie Cruz, Detective Tommy Gonzo Gonzales, and some of her other detectives were sharing a laugh that was, no doubt, at her expense. She'd think of some way to punish them on their next shift. It didn't escape her notice that Freddie had brought his girlfriend Elin Svensson, or Gonzo was there with Nick's chief of staff, Christina Billings. Sam didn't approve of either relationship, but no one had bothered to ask her opinion. When she realized Nick wasn't going to let her escape the mandatory dance, Sam gave up the fight. Besides, being pressed against his muscular chest was one of her favorite places to be, so she may as well enjoy this obligatory moment. At 6'4", he was one of the few people in her life who towered over her. Those broad shoulders, the chocolate brown hair that curled at the ends, amazing hazel eyes, smooth olive-toned skin. Sam had never known a sexier guy. And that mouth. Whoa. Speaking of sexy. "There," Nick said, apparently sensing her capitulation. "Isn't that better? I'm still mad at you. You can punish me later." Bringing his lips in close to her ear, he added, "All night long." Sam smiled at his softly spoken words. She didn't want to because he was making her dance to the cheesiest, most cliched song her stepmother could have possibly chosen. But let's face it, she was slow dancing with Nick, and that made things all better. Nick's lovely chest ruined the moment by vibrating against her cheek. "Ignore it," he said of the phone he'd stashed in his chest pocket. "No phones today." "You won't hear me arguing." They still hadn't managed a full day off together in the nearly 2 months since they'd reconnected after U.S. Senator John O'Connor's murder before Christmas. 6 years after a memorable one-night stand, they'd picked up right where they'd left off. Nick had since been tapped to complete the last year of John's term in the Senate and was now in the midst of the campaign to win the seat on his own in November. They'd looked forward to this day off for weeks, and had big plans for a romantic early Valentine's Day celebration after the wedding. Nick's phone buzzed again. "Ignore," he said more forcefully this time. "What if it's your dad, or there's some sort of disaster in Virginia? You can't ignore it." "Yes, I can." With all the campaigning he'd been doing lately, she knew he needed the day off even more than she did. But if there was one thing Sam couldn't stand, it was a ringing phone. "Nick." "Sam." She worked her hand into his jacket to retrieve the buzzing phone. "Henry Lightfeather," she read off the screen. Even she recognized the name of the senior senator from Arizona. "Work." Nick tightened his arms around her. "He can wait until Monday." He's called twice. He can wait. There's a voicemail message. Aren't you curious? Okay, it's official. You're an even bigger workaholic than I am. Not possible. Hey, he sent a text. Call me, Nick, 911. Nick stopped dancing and took the phone from her. Now you've gone and done it, he said with a scowl. Done what?